speaking of former teammate of Jack Eichel, Steve's favorite general manager, favorite general manager, Chuck Fletcher, loaded up the money cannon and fired it right into Rasmus Ristolainen's checking account last night.
Just a money arsonist.
5 years, $5 million. And before we get into letting Steve go off on this,
he's a treasure.
Rasmus Ristolainen's projected wins above replacement is 1%.
Yeah, he's in the bottom 1% of players in the league.
That means he's among the least effective players in the league by any metric. So here's the funny part. Darren Dreger said, some wondering if Risto extension opens the door for a Travis Sanheim trade, either before the deadline or in the offseason. He'd be pretty high on a few teams' lists. Left shot, $4.675 million cap hit. Travis Sanheim's projected wins above replacement is 94% for less money.
It's weird because Risto plays on the other side, so I don't know why you would trade a lefty. Why the right D signing opens up a space on the left side. Like, that doesn't really make sense.
It's a Chuck Fletcher team. The funny thing is, Jay Fresh wrote this, and I love this. He said, with a gap between underlying numbers and reputation/market value like Ristolainen has, and he does.
He has talent.
The eye test.
Yeah.
He said, you typically expect to see some, quote, stuff in the microstat that says, this is what he does on the ice. He said, that's not the case here. He's big and he shoots the puck.
Yeah. He has talent. We far too often have the conversation, should this defenseman be moved forward? It was really in style a few years ago. It's sort of gone away. Legit, I think it might be a good idea here, but again, I think that ship has sailed. Earlier in his career, like there's some Brent Burns action that could have happened there. Or I guess the opposite.
Yeah,
of
why
Brent
not?
Burns.
I mean, it worked out great for Brent Burns.
Yeah.
I remember I used to
Who is
draft
still
Brent Burns.
horrible at defense.
I used to draft Brent Burns in my fantasy, like in the NHL games, and he was still playing forward when I first started drafting. Remember, because his like projected was super high.
Yeah.
Him and Sean Avery were like a 95.
I'm old enough to remember
when Brent Burns was
Brent
forward.
Burns. I almost called him Tim Brent.
Yeah,
Brent Burns played as a forward.
Risto, when he was with Buffalo, he was he put up a point every half game. You know, a half game a point. I don't know how to phrase that, but he put up at least 41 points in 4 seasons with Buffalo. It's not bad. You get some points out of your defenseman. That's good. He's 8th overall pick. You know, you expect him to do some damage in the NHL, but like his offense has fallen off a little. Like, he's not putting up 41 points anymore, and the defense.
Well, the Flyers have been bad.
Yeah, the Flyers have been bad, and the defense has never been there. I don't know how you justify giving him $5 million.
Because he scores despite getting outscored when he's on the ice. He puts up points, you know?
But he doesn't do that anymore consistently.
Oh, yeah, but he's done it in the past.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, years
he once
ago.
did.
Chuck Fletcher?
I don't know.
Let's play a game called What Would Chuck Fletcher Do If His Last Name Wasn't Fletcher? I'm going to go.
Oh, are you saying he's a nepotism kid?
Absolutely. Dude, he's terrible. Objectively terrible. I can tell you he wouldn't be NHL general manager. I'm sure he's got some sort of acumen. He could be working in the league to some degree. Like most GMs have something shiny in their track record.
Well, here's the track record. Lost in the conference quarterfinals, 12-13, 13-14. Lost in the second round, 14-15. Lost in the second round. The next 3 years, lost in the first round. He made the playoffs like 6-7 years in a row with the Wild.
Yeah, by spending $196 million
on 2 players.
Man, how did he do it? Fucking give me $200 million to spend. I'll get you in the playoffs and disappoint you once you get there. Like,
I could disappoint you with
he's
a lot
special
less.
though. He's real special. Like, yeah, he deserves one of 32 jobs in the world, for sure. Based on that, they won 2 playoff rounds after spending all that money. Are you joking? Like, I know I cheer for the Leafs, but I don't know if you've listened at all, but we're not exactly happy about it. He's terrible. He's real bad, and I don't know why the Flyers thought he was the answer. And he's doing even worse than I suspected he would.
Did you know Chuck Fletcher was an assistant general manager with Florida when he was 25 years old? That's when he got his first job in hockey.
Man, what a prodigy.
He went from AGM in Florida from 25 to 34.
What?
93.
Adam, 25?
Hold on,
That's
finish.
special.
Let me
That's unusual, Adam.
Mhm.
That's special talent.
Jesse, continue.
What a prodigy. Here, tell me more about this Wunderkind
I'll give
named
you
Chuck Fletcher.
I'm going to give you his resume of why he is where he is right now and how he got there. Chuck Fletcher's career.
This is from Cap Friendly, who
Cap
is
Friendly.
amazing. Like,
Yeah.
they're borderline FBI investigations.
This
crazy.
is his staff history, according to Cap Friendly. AGM in Florida, 93 to 2001. That's age 25 to 34.
So the age I'm about to turn.
Yeah. Went to Florida as their intern, or stayed with Florida as their interim general manager. He did that for a couple months. And then he went over to the Anaheim Ducks, where he was also their AGM.
When was he AGM with the Ducks?
2002 to 2006.
Oh, they won after he left. Hilarious. Okay.
2002 to 2006, he was the AGM and director of hockey operations. Then he moves over to Pittsburgh, where he's also the AGM. 2006 to 2009.
So he would have got his cup then.
No.
Yes, he would have got his cup.
May 21st, 2009 is when he leaves AGM. So
What?
he leaves right before the playoff run because he gets hired.
Oh no!
He gets hired in Minnesota to be the GM
Okay, so
in
he
May
probably,
of 2009. So they probably give him a ring. They probably put his name on the cup.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That sucks.
Wow.
Though.
But that's
that
the first Crosby one, and yeah, he missed out on the playoff run because he went over and he took the Minnesota job as general manager, which you can't blame him for.
Steve.
No.
Steve, you're going real hard at Chuck Fletcher right now.
Yeah,
So,
he's bad.
Your
Cool.
favorite part of his career from 2009 to 2018, he is general manager of the Minnesota Wild.
And they make the playoffs.
Does that for 8 years. Very successful there in Minnesota,
Yeah,
but
very.
they can't get over the
No, he
hump.
wasn't.
Very successful in making the playoffs.
Success is getting over the hump. Are the least successful?
No.
Couldn't get over the hump. Moves over to New Jersey briefly. Senior advisor to the general manager. Did a little advising in the meantime after he got fired from Minnesota.
That's just
And then he
that's
leaves.
just hockey dudes money laundering. Like,
Yeah, that's literally.
here's a job.
You're
Here's
out
a
of
gig
work.
between jobs.
Literally, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And he leaves his advising job in New Jersey to go be general manager of the Philadelphia Flyers, executive vice president, and now president of hockey operations. So he has those 3 titles. Actually, they took away the executive vice president. He's now just president of hockey ops and general manager of Philadelphia Flyers from 2018 to present.
Wunderkind.
What stands out on that resume?
Teams win as soon as he leaves.
He's worked in hockey for over 25 years of his life. Definitely earned some stripes.
If you say so.
That's a long time to be doing a job
Jesse.
in a business. I've tried
30
to.
You're
32.
trying to. Jesse's pulling.
I've tried to because he's
32 of these gigs,
uh-huh.
and he deserves one.
He's worked a long time. He knows a thing or two about hockey.
Jesse,
Yeah.
working a long time qualifies you for nothing.
You don't see
It
some.
just means you've been alive for a while.
You don't see some accomplishments in that resume.
Yeah, but they were a long time ago. Like, let's say he was a big part of that Penguins Cup
Building
in
that
2009, which, fair.
Mhm.
Fair. They were hot garbage, got Sidney Crosby and Malkin and Jordan Stahl and Marc-Andre Fleury.
Mhm.
So he probably helped them with the let's be bad for a bit part. But then as AGM, you can't deny that his fingerprints are all over that championship team. That was 13 years ago.
Mhm.
That was 13 years ago. There's 32 of these jobs. He did a bad job in Minnesota, and he's doing a bad job in Philadelphia. I don't understand with him. How many teams have more than one person in the front office who would do a better job than Chuck Fletcher?
I don't have that answer for you.
He's not great at this. He's not good at this gig.
His
Like-
draft record is decent.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who's he got?
all the big Minnesota guys, Kaprizov,
Well, I hope so. He was there forever.
Capo, Granlund, Dumba, Zucker, Greenway. I'm just scrolling. Nick Leddy, Brodeen, Alex Tuck, Harrison Eck. He has a Carson Soucy. Like, I can keep running. Darcy Kemper. Pretty good at drafting. There's a couple good names in there.
I think almost every GM that you pull up, you'd be like, oh, look, there's some good players.
I'm cheating because he's been doing this for 8 years. You know, if you draft 100 guys over 8 years,
You're going to get some guys.
Yeah.
You think? I'm not sure the Leafs in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And then you will not get some guys.
Right.
But I
don't
see.
know.
So Steve, you're saying that objectively, given the resume, that he's about as it can get. I think the
His
only
bottom
person,
half.
I think the only person who's probably worse in my estimation, and again, we're grading on a scale here. The guy's still a GM, still had teams in the playoffs, still drafted great guys like Kaprizov and crazy stuff. But like the only person who was worse than him is the guy that replaced him in Minnesota, which is Paul Fenton, who was a former Flyers GM. I don't know how they keep trading people back and forth. And I feel bad for Philly fans, honestly, because I think, listen, Rasmus Ristolainen has value as an NHL player, just not where they keep putting him.
Yeah, not at that number.
Defense?
Well, I mean, no, if you put him, okay, if Rasmus
Because you're
Ristolainen,
both right.
if he's in your top 4 and he's 4 of 4 and he's paid
It's still
$3
not-
million,
It's not good, man. It's not good. It's not good. You said it a few months ago. They traded Gostisbehere to make room for Finnish Gostisbehere. And Gostisbehere is having a better year. Ah!